So, in life updates, might be homeless soon, y'all. Now, I'm kidding. Technically, I'm using the correct term. I don't mean like literal homeless, like I'm gonna be sleeping out on the streets. It's not gonna be that dire. But trying to figure out what my next move is as far as living conditions, as I have talked about on this podcast. I've been transparent about that last break after episode 12 was due to I had got laid off from a job that to be transparent, a job that I was making six figures at. I was making some real good money at that job. And I got laid off during the holiday season, and I was out of work for 5 months. I was really trying to stay within that field that I was in because, kind of going back in time during my 20s, my entire 20s, I spent at working for a lingerie company that was not Victoria's Secret. You should be able to put two and two together who exactly I was. But I spent my entire 20s working for that company, and I had quite a bit of experience back then with like inventory control and some other stuff, but more importantly with like the AS400. And then kind of same thing, I've tried to like stay in that realm, but I couldn't really find any AS400 work. So then I moved over to what then ended up becoming the UCAS technology sector that I was in, which was unfortunate because then I lost, that 10 years of experience with the AS400, and then leaving or getting eliminated from UCAS SAS. I wanted to try to stay in that realm so I can continue to build off of that 10 years of experience. But like I said, after 5 months, it was like, fuck, I can't find anything. And so then I was like, shit, I need to have some type of income coming in, because I was at the point where I was just about out of severance pay. I had took out my 401k money, didn't have a lot of that saved, but that's, story for a whole nother day. But, basically kind of the money that I was living off of, it was running out, and it was like, yeah, I got to figure something out. And so during that 5 months I was out of work, I had put in a forbearance on my house. And so I had done a forbearance back in the day with student loans. I, again, went to the Conservatory of Recording Arts out here in Arizona when I was trying to become audio engineer. Had to take out student loans to kind of facilitate that transfer to that college to, go to school for that. And shouts out, I actually did just finish paying off that student loan like recently. But again, that's another story for another day. But anyway, I had, over the time of me paying the student loan, over that fucking shit, that was over a decade, but over that time that I was working on that student loan, there was a couple times when I had some economic issues, and I reached out, asked for a forbearance, and then typically you fill out the paperwork, explain the situation, and then they'll be like, okay, we'll do a forbearance for X amount of months, and then essentially when those months pass, then you just have to start paying whatever your monthly payments are going forward, and then that's just that. And that's how I understood forbearances. Now, same thing with the mortgage. After losing my job, I think I made like 1 or 2 more mortgages, and I was like, yeah, this is really eating into this money that I kind of have right now to survive until I find my next job. So reached out to the mortgage company and asked for a forbearance. They put one in, and then it was like a few months later, I had started getting, it was like 2 months, maybe 6 to 8 weeks later, I'll say that, I had got a notification from them about, me being past due on the mortgage. And I was confused, and I called back, and shouts out to black people. I could always tell when I'm on the phone with a black person, and then, we kind of keep it real with one another. And I kind of explained the situation to the woman at the time, and she was like, yeah, they didn't explain it correctly. She was like, forbearances through us is like, hey, we'll give you 3 months off. But then, that fourth month comes, all that money that you didn't pay, we expect all of that up front. And I worked with her, filled out some more paperwork, sent it back in, and same thing. They gave me I think it was another month or so, but then same thing. It was yeah, when this shit is over, we want all of that fucking money at once. And it was shit, with my new job, not only can I not pay the current monthly mortgage as is, I'm not gonna be able to pay all that fucking back. I'm not gonna be able to do it. So end up getting with a realtor, and then unfortunately I'm gonna have to do a short sale on the house because unfortunately, I thought all the signs were with me, and I was doing what I needed to do at the time. Bought the house. The mortgage rates weren't that great. The interest rates weren't great, but it was hey, I had this stable job that I've been at for, fucking damn near 10 years at that point. It was I'm in a good solid place or whatever. I just got to ride this wave for a couple years. I could refinance, get all that situated. I'll be good to go. And then of course life got to life, and after that, and then here we are. And so I'm in a position now, and as I was talking to the realtor, they kind of reviewed everything. They were kind of telling me my options, and one of the options, they were hey, you could get away from selling the house and you could rent it out, and then use that to help you kind of pay the mortgage off. But then they were basically kind of doing the numbers, and they were but you would still have to basically every month come out of pocket another $1,100 to kind of keep the place. It was that's still too much. I'm not going to be able to live somewhere else, pay bills, and then still be, committed to paying, over $1,000 per month to keep this place. So it's okay, we got to do the short sale. So that happened, and then I moved into looking for an apartment to rent. And I found a apartment that had reasonable pricing, and then it was not too far from my ex-wife's house. So then that would kind of, work out for the boys, where it'd be a lot easier for them to get, to and from, my place and their mom's place. Hell, even if they want to ride their bikes, it's not that far of a distance. So it was cool, that'll work. So I went down to the place. I was trying to put the application together online. I was running into all these issues. I went up there to talk to the, person, and they really didn't have answers for any of it. And so I worked on it while I was up there. They were still running into system issues, but we kind of figured it out and was able to get the application together. And then after that, I was okay, what are next steps? And they were well, you'll hear back from us within, 48 hours typically if you're, approved. And it was okay, cool, that'll work. So then 48 hours later, I get notified, hey, you got approved on these conditions. And the conditions was basically I had to either get a cosigner, or I had to do additional security deposit. And I was okay, I'll just do the additional security deposit. We'll just roll with that. And the woman was okay, cool, that'll work. And I was do I pay that now, or what do I do? And she was oh no, you don't pay that until the day that you move in. I'm okay, cool. So that's that, and that's that. And I'm okay, cool. So got a place, got that figured out. So I'm now starting to coordinate stuff. I'm putting in my PTO request for that day because that's when I move, and I'm figuring out everything, and figuring out finances, a bunch of stuff, how am I going to move, kind of figuring out the logistics of that. And then a couple weeks later, I get hit up again by the apartment complex, and they're oh yeah, your income didn't meet the requirement, so you need to prove even more income to get approved. And then so I called back, and I was I'm confused. I'm y'all said that I got approved, and then y'all sent me the thing to sign in to create my profile for the residence portal. And I was every 2 to 3 days you're emailing me, hey, your move is in XYZ days, did you get this done? Hey, your move is in this many days, did you get this done? And so I'm confused. And then again, that same person that I've talked to multiple times that does not have answers anytime I talk to them, again, did not have fucking answers. So I'm okay, I'm confused. And then so I had asked her some follow-up questions. Like I said, she didn't have answers for it. So then she was I'll talk to my manager, I'll get back with you. She said she was going to get back to me before the day was over. The day came and went. I did not hear back from her. So then I called back the next day. Phone rang, so many times, and it rolled over to the third party answering service. Talked to someone over there who also couldn't help because they're like, well, we're just an answering service. You got to actually talk to the property people. And so I was like, okay, well, these are my questions. I was like, can you pass the message on and then have them follow up with me? And they were like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll do that. Next day came, still didn't hear from this apartment again. So then I reached out to them again. Same thing, it rung so many times, rolled over to this third party answering service. And I'm again explaining the situation like, this is what I'm confused about. This is specifically what I'm looking for. And I was like, if it's too difficult for them to call me during their work hours, because also, I have weird work hours now where I get off super late. I was like, they could just shoot me an email, and then, I could, we can kind of go from there if email would be easier. And so they're like, hey, cool, we'll get that message over to them. And, I'm like, okay, cool. So then I get an email and it's like, hey, your application has been approved. If you're going through with the additional security deposit, this is what you click to get that set up. And then I'm like, okay, cool, that's that. So then I did have some questions about that additional link that they sent me over, because it was, again, something else that you got to fill out to get qualified for. So then I called the apartment complex again now, and then I'm talking to someone on the phone, or I'm talking to the same woman again whenever I do get someone to answer the phone over there, it's the same woman every single time who doesn't have answers for anything. And so then when I'm talking to her, I'm like, hey, yeah, this is so-and-so, I'm calling back about my application. And then, I got this link about, setting up this Jedi security deposit, can you tell me more about that? And then she's like, oh no, you didn't qualify for the apartment. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, the last time we talked, I told you weren't qualified. And I was like, yeah. And then I had follow-up questions that then you said you were going to talk to your manager about. I never heard back from you. I reached out to y'all multiple times. And then I told the answering service that if you could just email me, if that would be easier. And then I got an email saying that the application was approved. So that's why I thought we were at a new step. And she was like, oh, no, you didn't get qualified. And now at this point, I'm frustrated because this woman, God bless her, she doesn't seem like the brightest person. And I'm not trying to say that, or let me not say that. Because she doesn't seem like an unintelligent person. She seems like this scope of work is beyond her. And she only knows like the canned responses, and she can't really explain anything outside of that. We've all dealt with that, where you work with someone at some business and then you run into some issue and then you have a specific question and they can't answer that question because you could tell they don't understand the process. They just know, well, when issue A happens, I respond with this. And then when issue B happens, I respond with that. So like, it was like, I'm not getting anywhere. So then I was like, is your manager available? Like, I'm trying not to be a Karen, but it's like, I'm not getting anywhere with you. And like, we're fucking 3 weeks into this back and forth thing, and we're not making any headway. Like, I need to talk to a manager. Manager wasn't available, but then she was like, I'll send you over an email so you can schedule a call with the manager, talk to him. I'm like, okay, cool. And then this time she does actually send me an email with the email signature of the manager. So then I book a call to talk to the property manager. Excuse me. So then next day comes up, and I had booked the call from like 11 to 11:30, and then at like fucking 10:42, my phone rings. I'm using the bathroom, and my phone rings, and I see that it's that apartment complex, and I'm like, shit, this is like damn near 20 minutes sooner than when I thought we were gonna have the call. But let me go ahead and answer it. So I answer it, and it is the woman I booked the call with. And then like I could hear a call going on in the background, and she's like, oh, hey, I was just calling to see, I know our call is in like 20 minutes, but I'm not going to be able to make that call because I'm on another call that's going to last hours. So like, if you have time to talk now, I have time now, or we're going to have to reschedule. I'm like, okay, no, we could talk now. And then again, I can tell this is a black woman. And then so my guard is down. That's when it comes. I trust my people. I especially trust Black women. So it's like I trust that I can keep it a buck with you. You're gonna keep it a buck with me, and we have a conversation. And basically, she explains to me, your the first approval was based off of your credit, and she was like, that's all the application was saying, was that your credit check passed. She was like, but then the income didn't pass because the income over the past couple of months have been inconsistent. And a lot of that is, unfortunately in this delivery world that I'm learning, that first month I was there, we're going through training. So, I hadn't ramped up to full-time hours. And then even the month of June, even though technically I am full-time, it kind of still depends on the routes. Like they'll give you a route that should take X amount of hours, but sometimes it doesn't take that long, or sometimes it takes longer. So like that trying to hit 40 hours is always like a swinging pendulum. So then as a result, my hours kind of varying all over the place over the past 2 months of what it checked. It was like, you only are currently making X amount of money, and that doesn't qualify. And then basically she explains that those are automated emails. It should have explained this in this fashion. And she was like, completely understand like why you're upset. Like, my bad. I'm gonna take screenshots of this. I'm gonna send this to someone else. And then at one point during the call, she apologized. She was like, I'm so sorry. She was like, can I put you on hold? I gotta say something on this other call. And it reminded me of the corporate life that I just came from, where there's not enough butts in seats. There's way more work than it is people available to do the work. And especially when you're in a leadership position, they have you at 12 places at once. I remember literally there would be times when I would be booked on 4 meetings at the same exact time. And it's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to make 4 meetings at once. Like, I can't do this. And just, this is where we are at in America today. And again, that fucking thing, capitalism, that I always talk about is, again, businesses don't give a fuck. Capitalism is a cancer, and it's going to maximize its profits while minimizing its overhead. That's all that fucking capitalism does. And so it was like, dang, like, I felt bad because I was like, I know what this woman is going through, and I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at the system. So I can't be upset with her. So I had the conversation with her. She gave me the information to another place that I could talk to that kind of helps people in my situation of trying to actually find something within my qualifying rate of the, having to make 3 times the rent. And essentially they could help do the process without you having to pay application fees and, do deposits everywhere you go. Like, they can kind of help you find the specific place and then, save some money and all that. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll go ahead and do that. And so that's where I'm at. By definition, the house is supposed to start going on sale next week on Thursday. And then again, when it comes to selling, like, it could get sold in 3 days. It could take 3 to 12 months to sell. Who fucking knows? You don't know it. Yeah. But in the meantime, with how fucking behind I am on the mortgage now, and me having never been in this situation, I would be much more comfortable to solidify a place so that I can get my stuff out of here. So then, worst case scenario, at least I have all of my belongings where they need to be, and then I can figure out all the house stuff while it's empty. So that's where I'm at, and trying to just kind of figure out the next step in life and all this shit. And I don't know, I'm still like in a place of like, of course, being ADHD and being the emotional, I'm a Gemini on the cusp of Cancer. My birthday's on the last day of Gemini, so I'm 75% Gemini, 25% Cancer, and Cancers are also sensitive and emotional. I can't, lie that some days are fucking sensory overload, overwhelming. It's like I just want to not talk to anybody and just not do any, just be away from everything, because it's like, fuck, what is the next move? I'm not in control of what's going on right now. But I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm riding this out, and we'll figure out what the fuck happens from here. And it's one of those things where, I do say everything happens for a reason. And while I do further say, like, is the universe fair and just? I'm gonna say no, because in my 43 years of living, I still have not seen any evidence of that there is any actual balance with the good and the bad. And it just seems like there are some fucked up people in this world that just excel and just bad karma never comes on them, and some good people that just fucking bad luck is their best friend. And so I don't believe the universe is fair and just, but I again do believe that everything happens for a reason. And as I have talked about at lengths over the past however many episodes, again, I'm going through this transformative 10-year phase where all of this seems to be happening for a specific reason. And so I could just ride this and see where this journey takes me and kind of go from there. And again, it all takes me back to a quote that I saw that I just keep. It's like what did Morpheus say in the Matrix? It's like a splinter in your brain that you just can't get out. There was this quote that said, when you pretend to be someone you aren't, you inevitably attract environments and opportunities that aren't meant for you. And that is what I have kind of summarized the last 10 years of this massive everything around me that I thought, all the plates, all the things that I was balancing one by one, these plates are falling and breaking, and I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I had all of this shit in control, and all these things that I thought were mine are kind of dissipating, if you will. But again, it is this transformation I'm going through that I think once I get to the end of that road, I'll be in the place and in the environments and around the people that I'm supposed to be, instead of the environments of the people that I was around and dedicating my life to that did not really give a fuck about me, but gave a fuck about what I can do for them. And that's kind of where we're at with that. So I did recently, last week, I had a appointment with my therapist. I don't know what her exact title is, but she's the one that's been helping me with the depression meds and the ADHD meds. And she's the one that got me with the behavioral person to, see if I was autistic and ADHD and all that. And so I just kind of summarize it. She's been, my therapist for the past couple years now. It was funny. I just, had a follow-up session with her last week about adjusting my meds and my ADHD meds, because it was like everything else, the anxiety is in control, the depression is in control. Of course, some days are better than others, but I was like, it's all in control. It's not to the point like it was a couple months ago when I was having days where I couldn't even just fucking get out of bed. I just completely gave up. But I was like, everything seems like it's getting a lot better. I was like, the one thing that I'm still struggling with is that ADHD and that focus. So we're talking about that and what we can do to kind of address that, and getting her up to speed with everything that's going on in my life. And I just cracked up laughing on the drive home, because she had said to me, she's like, I don't know how you're keeping yourself together with all this stuff that has been going on with you. She was like, I would have broken down by now. And it's absolutely fucking hilarious to hear from a therapist like, nigga, you got it. Like, I would have been like, yo, fuck this shit. Like, what is going on at this point? So so shouts out to her, shouts out to life and all this funny stuff. And just a reminder to all the people out there who know me and interact with me, in real life, if you hit me up and I take a while to get back to you, don't take it personal. It's me, not you.